Hi, and thanks for joining. It's Patty from pspapercrafts, and I am so glad that you're here for my Friday Fun Fold video today. Today we're making an accordion Z-fold card. So it's kind of like last week. Last week we did a multi-panel Fun Fold card, and it was similar, only we didn't have this back piece. So I kind of like the back piece there. You can go back and look at my last video if you want to see that one. But it's very easy to make. Stands up nice. It's a little bit hard when it's down to keep it folded. It's a little bulky, but it's good. So one thing about this is it's 4 by 5 1/4. So usually it's 4 1/4 by, it's 4 by 5 1/2. Usually it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So this one is just a little bit shorter, and I think it's because you're using an 11-inch and you just don't have enough to get that extra piece in unless you made all of these smaller. But I do like the way it looks. So this is, I'm using brand new product on both cards today. So there's new online exclusives coming out November 4th. As a demonstrator, we get to order early, pre-order, and play. So I'm going to focus on 2 new suites today. This one I made using, this is a kind of a different suite. I wasn't sure about it, but this is called the Hobby Coven. What is the name of it? I have these sheets out for a reason. You'll see. Hobby Haven. And this has all these different, let me get them out. These different styles of prints. So these are plants and chairs and, you know, that kind of thing. And then there's this fun background. Then this is all full of books for you book lovers. Glasses, so that's fun. And then there's, I guess, I don't know if it's makeup or kind of healthcare, combs and different tools. And that's the other side. So there's 2 of each sheet. And then this one is kind of kitchen stuff, blenders, mixers, coffee, all kinds of things like that. That's the other side. Then we're back to the chairs and the plants. So you can, you know, fussy cut these things out. And then there's a couple of pages of sewing, ironing, sewing machine, paint brushes, so different kinds of crafts. And this is the other side. And then the reason I have this out like this, there's 2 sheets of die cuts that you can use with these. So both sheets are the same. And you could use it for sewing or, you know, somebody coffee, tea, camera, painting. So there's all these different kinds of things you can use it for. So I didn't use those cutouts on this card. I really just stamped. And the other thing that's new is our new packaging is now available. So when you order our stamps, no longer red rubber, they're all photopolymer. And this is how it will come. This is a bundle. So this is a stamp set and the coordinating dies, and they're the same size. I'm not sure. Personally, I have to get used to it. I have my stamp sets in a shelf that I got from Stamp and Storage that holds them, kind of like a DVD shelf. I can look at the spine. I can see what I want. So I'm going to have to get used to this. I may alphabetize, which I've never done. I'm not that organized. I just pull and push and whatever. So we're going to see how this works. So this is the stamp set. So I've seen a lot of people talk about this stuff, and I did find one lady, and I'm going to have to try it, and I'll show you how I do it. She showed how she actually stamps the images over here, and this way when you open it up, you know what images go. I mean, it's on the front, all the images, but this is what it looks like. So it's still the same. It has the kind of thin and then the thick, and they're in here. You could put them behind and put them in. I think that might be a little hard to see. So I have to play, and what I come up with, I will definitely share with you. This is the first time I'm using these. And then the die cuts, I've always put my die cuts just like this so I can quickly look at them. I actually always put them on on the do I have any? I haven't done it in a long time. I don't even have any. I used to put them on the magnetic boards, and it seems like things are moving so fast I never get to it. So I usually put them like this, and then I flip through to see what I want. Because a lot of times I'll use a die that doesn't necessarily coordinate with the stamp set. I mean, I may use this die and make a door out of it or something. So I don't know. I have to figure it out. But this is part of the suite with the paper. And then there's this pretty garden green, white ribbon. It's very pretty. I haven't used it yet. It's called a, what is it called? Chevron ribbon. So it's got that chevron print. And then there's the earthy matte dots. So you can get this with the paper, whoops, all as a bundle, or as a collection, a suite collection, or you can buy the products individually. You can do the stamp and the dies and save, I think it's 10% as a bundle. So anyway, those are the products I used, and let's learn how to make this card. So this is just garden green, basic white, and then piece of the designer series paper. So you're the best, so happy to have you in my life. One thing I would note is if you're writing on the inside of this card and you don't want it to show, stay over here. I just wrote a birthday card for my brother on a card like this, and I was like, I'm writing it over here, so when it's open, you're not seeing handwriting. That's the only thing with this kind of card. But anyway, let's try the next card, and let me show you what I'm using for this one. This is another new suite, November 4th, and this is the Brushed with Beauty suite. And I love this paper. This is right up my alley. Isn't that pretty? This is what we're going to use today. So I'll just show you the papers. Again, you get 2 of each. Look at this. So pretty. I love it. So, and then that's the other, oh, so there's this. They seem to be in here backwards. I'm looking at them backwards. This is what we're using. And then there's this. And I love the colors in this paper pack. Here's another one. So pretty. And what else? I guess that's it. Okay. The other thing that I am so happy is back is we have vellum paper now. I missed the vellum. We used to sell it and then we stopped. I think they had a hard time with the manufacturer. So we have vellum back, and it's 12 by 12. And let's see. There are 2 bundles with this. So there's the Petals of Beauty, and this is the stamp set, and then these are the dies. And then there's Words of Beauty, the stamp set and the dies. So some of these will work with these sentiments. And it has the Just Because, and then it has kind of the background layer, so you can layer it up. Then there is an embossing folder, beautiful pattern embossing folder. And then we have these Pearls of Beauty. So this is the suite, the paper, the vellum, the 2 bundles, the embossing folder, and the pearls. Or you can buy them all separately. You could buy the bundles, you could buy just the stamps, just the dies, however you want to work it. So let's put that aside. All right, so I have all my pieces, and I will have instructions in a PDF below the video. There's a description with, some text, and then there's a bunch of links. There's a link to the PDF. It's called a project sheet, and I will have all the measurements. I'll say it as we go, but if you want to just print it out or refer to it, there's a link to my online store if you want to purchase any of these products. Subscribe to my email list, and if you subscribe to my email list, you'll get this calendar, and this is what I use for my Friday videos. This is the October. We're on our last week, an Accordion Z-fold file. So if you wanted to get this each month, you can subscribe to my email list. I always do a Friday video, and then I do color combos that you can find on my blog or Facebook. I do cards from sketches, and then I just have ideas for you to make cards with. So I think that's enough of that. Let's get started on the card. And there were a ton of these out there. Don't know who to give credit to, so I'm not doing it. How's that? So first thing we're going to do is our scoring. And right off the bat, when I made this, I made a mistake. It's 5.5 by 11. And of course, I cut it this way, 5.5 by 8.5, which I was scoring it. And I was like, well, how come I don't have this piece in the end? It just scored all the way up, and then I realized it. So this is 5.5 by 11. So you're only going to get one card out of a piece of cardstock. All right, so we are going to score. We're going to have to open our arm. Okay, and we are going to score at 1 3/4. So 1 3/4. And then 3 1/2. And 5 1/4. And then 7. Okay, and while we have this out, so this is our base, all of these folds, and then we need this piece. So I am doing that in Mossy Meadow. And I'll tell you, I love Mossy Meadow and Petal Pink together. I'm not a big Petal Pink fan, but with Mossy Meadow it works. But this is Garden Green, so never mind. All right, so this one is 3 by 6, so 3 by 6, and we're going to score it at 3. So it's just folds right in half. Okay, so now we're done with this. Put this away. I don't think we need it for anything else. We're going to get our bone folder and just fold this, and then we'll fold all of these folds. And I like to just fold them in, and then we'll get them in the right way. So this first one is going to fold out. And then this one is going to go in. And then out. And then in. Hopefully that's right. If it's not right, we just flip them all around. Okay. Did I do it right? I did it wrong. All right. There we go. I guess it depends on how you're holding it, right? So this is our piece. And then again, this is only 4 inches. So remember that for the inside layers, it's a little bit smaller. So now what we're going to do is layer our pieces, and then this is going to come in here. Super easy, similar to the last card. But so I have these pieces for that, I think. I don't know, we'll see. I have these pieces for the inside, and then I have these strips for here. Now this is Very Vanilla. I haven't used Very Vanilla. I don't know when the last time I used it, but that's what's in the flowers. You could use white. I think it would be okay if you use white. I don't think it's that drastic, but I think the Very Vanilla is a little bit warmer and it works well. So I think I will use, I'll use my liquid glue. Let me get it. All right, so you can use, you know, whatever adhesive you want. But I think I'll use my liquid glue. I go back and forth between this and the Seal Plus. And you just want it to be right centered all around. Same size border all around. And I did die cut using the back of this, which I thought was pretty. I'll show you that when I get to it. We'll just go right in order here. I love die cutting from the patterned paper, especially a pattern like this. But wait till you see this side of it die cut. It's very pretty too. All right. Just keep going here. And isn't it pretty with the Very Vanilla? Just like this. I'm a little behind today. I thought I would have this out sooner, but I was in Florida last week for a long weekend to visit my mom and my daughter. So I had a good time, but I'm a little bit behind on everything. So I'll catch up though. Now, isn't that just pretty on its own? I love this paper. It's so beautiful. Okay. Then we're going to, I don't know if I like this. What do you think? I don't know. So this, let's put this not down, but just to get an idea. I may go back to Very Vanilla on this. I mean, it picks up this color. I guess it's all right. Should I do it this way or this way? I think this way. All right, we're going to go with it, see how it goes. I might have picked Very Vanilla for that, but I try to stay within the papers if I can. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So this is going to go here. And then we want this going the same way. We don't want it like that. That would be weird, right? So just keep in mind the direction of some of your patterns. I'm trying to think, what color is this? Is it, let me see. I don't know if it's like basic beige or crumb cake or what. Let me see. Calypso Coral, Darling Duckling, Early Espresso, Lost Lagoon. Oh, maybe it's Petal Pink. No, that's in here. I don't know what color that is. Secret Sea, Very Vanilla. Oh well. I thought. No, it's not Petal Pink. I don't know. But that's okay. So I thought what we would do is stamp the sentiment. We'll take care of the inside after we take care of the outside. I'm going to stamp it on here, and then I die cut. Let me show you some of these that I die cut. I don't know if they're too big. So I die cut this and this. Now I'm all tangled from here. So this is the other side of this paper. But look at that. Isn't that pretty? So you can use either side. I think that's really pretty. That one I don't know about as much, but... And then I die cut them each from the vellum. And I don't know if they're too big. I might have to cut them down, but we're going to play. So the first thing we'll do is, and I used the dies that I mentioned earlier. Let's see. I use this die and this die from this die set. So, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to stamp it in Mossy Meadow. You've Been on My Mind. And this label is from the stamp set, the dies that go with the stamp set. And it just fits. It's kind of small. That's the only thing with all these big greenery pieces behind it. But let's see. Let's see how it works. And, you know, it's okay if it goes off, right? Because this is going to come here. It's not going to interfere if it's above or whatever. So we're going to put this here. And let's see how it's going to work. If we put that up there. And, you know, I may cut it down. And I may only use 2 of them. What do you think of that? Well, that's a little bit, that has to come over a little bit. I guess it will interfere. So I'm going to cut off the bottoms of these, and then we're going to just figure it out as we go. And I think I'm only going to use the top ones. So I'm going to cut this here and here. And then I'm going to cut this right here. Let's see how that works. It's got a mind of its own. So I don't really want it hanging below this. I think that'll work. What do you think? Should I put something down here? I don't think so. I'm going to just leave it like this, kind of simple. And so let's put a little bit of glue on here. And with vellum, you know, it's hard to glue things, but this is going to be hidden. So I'm just putting it on the bottom here. It's not that it's hard to glue things, but you don't want the glue to show through. But I think it'll be okay because it's beneath that sentiment. And the same thing. So I'm leaving the tops kind of loose. You've been on my mind. All right, I think that's going to work for us. So these other pieces I'll just leave aside and maybe I'll use them another time. So let's get some dimensionals and we'll put the dimensionals on here. I think I'm going to put 3 down to maybe help keep the greenery down. It's coming together. Okay, and then we'll put this here, right like that. Okay, so now what we want to do is adhere this together, stamp our sentiment, and on this one I stamped over a little bit and I did put some things up here. Let's see if there's something to put, or no, I'm gonna put some gems on there on this card. So I thought I'm not going to stamp. I'm trying to think of what I want to do. So you've been on my mind. I think it's just something that I would leave alone. But let me tell you what else you can put here. So you're a great friend. It's your birthday. I appreciate you. I think you're amazing. I don't know who I'm sending it to. I could always add something later. So I'm going to just leave it. Okay. So let's just put this down on top of here. So these pieces, did I tell you all the pieces? This is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, the square. I don't even know if I told you this. There's 4 of them and they are 1 1/2 by 5 1/4. I usually tell you as I'm going. This piece is very vanilla and this is 3 1/2 by 5. And I'm putting it on a mossy meadow. That's 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. So I just went up, you know, a little bit on each layer. And of course, the first time I was trying to make this card, I did the 4 by 5 1/4, and I was like, oh, it doesn't fit. And it's because this is only 4 inches. Okay. And then we're going to put this right here and kind of figure out where you want it. You know, if you want it up against here, I thought it's good to have it kind of even. And then I'm just going to open it, and I think I'll use liquid glue. It's a little bumpy. I don't want to push it with the tape runner. And you're just going to put it over here. You don't want to go too far over. I'm just eyeing it, and it's going to go right on here. Isn't that a pretty combination of colors? The very vanilla and the mossy meadow, and then right here. Same thing. You don't want to go in too far, and that's going to sit right here. I'm just going to hold it for a minute. I want to make sure that it's nice and stuck down. Okay, so here you have it. I think it's gorgeous for this time of year especially. So again, you could stamp like I did here. I don't know that you'd want to put something like this here. That would be weird, I think. But I thought we would put some of these gems. Let's see what they are. I have everything in a pile here. These, does it tell me what color those are? I'm going to come back, I'm going to step away and find out what color these are, and that will tell us what color this is. So these are crumb cake, calypso coral, and a white, pearl white. I don't know why it doesn't say crumb cake on the paper, because I think crumb cake is, and I think that's this color on the paper. So I don't know if it was a mistake or what. So let's see if there's anything under here. So aren't they pretty? They're pearl. The calypso coral is gorgeous. That's one of my favorite colors, but it's not in this paper. So we are going to go with, so there's two sizes. I think I'm going to use this. Should I use the big ones? I'll use the big one. And should I just go down the side or do a little corner? So down here or here? I'll go here. We're figuring it out as we go. I don't have anything down here, but I don't think I need to. But isn't that pretty? This paper, I love. You know me, designer series paper is my favorite product of Stampin' Up. So this is You've Been on My Mind. And then You're the Best. So happy to have you in my life. So I hope you enjoyed this. Give me a thumbs up if you did. I will be coming out with my new calendar because we're at the end of it. We've got one more week, but next week I have Happy Halloween. We'll see if I do a video or not. You know, subscribe if you want to get a copy of it. And I think that's it. So have a great week, and I will see you next week. Bye.